So, what the narcissist really thinks when you go no contact. Maybe you were discarded or you just had enough and you want to heal, so you need that space, distance. You need to insulate yourself from them, so you go no contact. At the beginning, narcissists don't believe you can actually do it. They don't think that you can stay no contact because, the narcissist confidence, well, their fake confidence, but their super fake confidence, it just does what it does. Um, they're convinced they're better than you. They're convinced you need them. So they see you going no contact initially as a game, as something you're doing, but you'll fold rather quickly. They don't expect you to stay no contact for long. And initially, your absence, your silence may not even bother them because it could be that they're onto a new supply, they're distracted with something else, and maybe they're still fueled from the recent interactions with you. And so the fact that they've only recently had some space, it hasn't started to bother them yet. They might still see you as boring because usually when you've been interacting with them a lot and they've been devaluing you, at that point in time, they see you as somebody boring, low potency. And if you've only recently gone no contact, they might kind of still feel that way about you. But as time goes by and you don't reach out to the narcissist as they expect, they slowly, progressively start to go into this state of doubt, maybe even paranoia. But they really go into this place of doubt. After a few days, maybe weeks, so on, they start to have these thoughts around, will you ever let them back in? Will you ever make a reappearance into their life? Or God forbid, what if you've actually moved on and you found a replacement for them? And a replacement for them doesn't have to be another person. It can just be that you found your happiness, your fulfillment without them being a part of that. So these thoughts, they slowly but steadily start to creep up on the narcissist when you maintain that distance, when you maintain your no contact. And they reach that point where, especially if they're onto somebody else and that supply, their new supply starts to become less potent, less interesting, then they become even more focused on you. And they reach that point where they start to become concerned that maybe you have moved on or that you might move on, or you're at that breaking point where you're about to move on and that you might soon be forever out of their reach. They may have lost you for good. And that thought terrifies them because they never thought it would go that far. They never thought you would stay away. There's something you can't forget about narcissists is narcissists struggle to groom and conquer new people that they consider to be high value, good quality supply. That whole process takes a long time, takes a lot of mental energy, physical energy, resource, money, time, all that. And you were somebody, the fact that you were somebody that they went through that process with and they succeeded, and you proved yourself, at least at the beginning, to be high quality, high value, in their eyes. Even though you later reached the point where you became low quality because they ceased to see you as being somebody interesting, they started to look at you as somebody less interesting, somebody who's replaceable, somebody who doesn't need to have a place in their life. You always have the potential of being somebody of high value, somebody of high potency supply in their eyes again. And all it takes for you to reach that point is your recovery from the abuse, is you healing, you feeling better about yourself, you being okay with staying no contact and being okay with the fact that they're no longer in your life. Once you do that, your value skyrockets. Your what you have to offer skyrockets. And when then and that's the worst place for the narcissist, is when they see all of a sudden in their eyes, they see you as somebody with high worth, high value again, but they don't have access to you. So not only are they in that difficult place, but they just feel this complete loss of control when they do reach that place. And of course, that's unsettling for the narcissist, to say the least. Devastating may be a more accurate term. So, yeah, and narcissists just hate that. They just think, how did they get themselves into that mess? So, you go in no contact. Initially, the narcissists don't really take you too seriously. They don't believe you have it in you to stick with it, and they don't believe that you have it in you to move on. But once you prove that you do, your value does skyrocket. And then they're in this difficult place. But of course, that's their problem, not yours. So when you go no contact, just don't forget, it's not about playing games with anybody. It's not about playing games with a narcissist. It's about focusing on your healing and your recovery. It's about, if you go no contact and you don't immediately have a reason to think that, you know, even if you're not convinced you can make it on your own, even if you're not convinced there are other things that can make you feel fulfilled, start pursuing things. Do a bit of trial and error. Give it some time and you will find those things. And indirectly, the narcissist kind of would have given that to you on a golden platter, because the fact that they pushed you away and made you go no contact kind of forced you to find alternatives. And then you end up finding those things. And then that's the point where the narcissist wants you back. But that's the point where you have to be extra vigilant to make sure you don't give them the space to come back.